We have a news article here about the investors coming out of Iraq, about the Iraqi Stock Exchange. So let me just read this. This is February 7th, 2015. This is from the National, which is a Dubai publication. Headline is Investors Play a Long Game for Bargains in Strife-Torn Iraq. Fund managers focus on the Iraq Stock Exchange say that at least last year's events presented an opportunity to buy shares in listed companies at bargain prices, but only if investors are willing to play the long game. And they say that in the areas such as the Iraqi banking sector, which makes up more than 50% of the ISX, blue chip listed banks are trading at or below book value, but still providing a dividends yields of up to 10%, making them an excellent long-term bet. Some of the stocks companies are on the stock exchange, the Iraq Stock Exchange, or some of their yields are 10%. That's pretty good compared to the U.S. Stock Exchange. Sherif Salem, a portfolio manager at Invest AD in Abu Dhabi, said while the profits were down across the sector last year, loans and deposits year on year were up as a double-digit decline in the third quarter was followed by a sharp reversal in the fourth quarter. Then Jeffrey Batt, who manages an ISX-focused fund for New York-based Euphrates, pointed out that the largest private banks in Iraq have roughly US $1.5 billion in assets, up from less than $100 million a decade ago. We believe a few of these banks, particularly ones that focus on Baghdad and southern Iraq, will have 20 billion to 30 billion balance sheets in 7 to 10 years. That would imply earnings of 400 million to 600 million, which exceeds their current market caps. So in about 10 years, they're going to be up, 20 billion to 30 billion in volume. That's pretty good. And earning 400 million to 600 million, that's great. A country of 35 million people with huge oil reserves, potential growth in Iraq was being estimated pre-ISL as high as 8% annually by the World Bank. And it says here, you could argue that there is the same potential. There's the added risk, of course, but as far as the outlook and the potential that we saw when we first launched our fund, and that is a country that was rebuilding, demographic variable with a lot of pent-up demand that is still there, Mr. Salem said. So this is good news. This is a good article. I hear fund managers are focused on the other areas too, citing the ISX heavyweight Baghdad soft drinks, which in Baghdad and everywhere else they love their soft drinks, which fared well in 2014, only showing revenue drop of 8% despite the political and economic issues over the past 8 months. It is one of the few listed consumer companies in the developing markets that looks very attractive. The company is looking to expand into new product segments, fueling growth. When you go to when you look at the ISX, the Iraq Stock Exchange, they're going to do very well. It's like a slow crawl, but every year that goes by, they're getting better. More people are putting more money into the Iraq Stock Exchange, depositing their money. They got a little bit more faith, I'd say, in the Iraq Stock Exchange than they do in their local banks, which they got to turn that around. Their local banks is got to get turned around. That's the only way to make this economy in Iraq get better 1 year from the next or 1 month from the next. They got to get their banking system, their liability, their credit, everything's got to get on board, and we'll see that happens. This is a great article. I'll leave the link below in the description. Investors play a long game for bargains in Strife-Torn Iraq. Thank you for watching The American Contractor, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you have any comments, just put them below. Love to hear them. Thank you.